Hello friends, I am Sunil Ranjan Mukul and I am an English teacher. Well, I have come with the poem My Last Duchess written by Robert Browning, and I'll be explaining to you the meanings of the different sections of the poem. Let's begin first with Robert Browning. Robert Browning's inspiration for My Last Duchess came from the Duke and Duchess Ferrara. The Duchess died under suspicious circumstances. She was married at 14 and dead by 17. Browning uses these suspicious circumstances as inspiration for a poem which goes deep into the mind of a powerful duke who wishes to control his wife in every aspect of her life, even her feelings. Browning was the Victorian who wrote real-life poetry that reflected upon some of the darkest aspects of Victorian life. One of those aspects is the treatment of wives by their husbands. Everyone is familiar with Henry VIII and his many wives whom he accused and executed when he was tired of them. Robert Browning reveals that this mentality was widespread during his time. Wives were viewed as disposable and their husbands would often accuse them to get away from them when they desired to marry some other lady of their choice. The life of a Victorian wife was pathetic and unsafe. Now coming to section 1, and that is lines 1 to 15, and the first line, "That's my last Duchess painted on the wall," and the last line being, "Of joy into the Duchess' cheek perhaps." Well, the meaning goes, the poem My Last Duchess by Robert Browning begins with the speaker asking the listener if he will sit down and look at a portrait of his last Duchess. The speaker is a duke who does not reveal whether his Duchess is alive or dead. He asks his listener to sit and look at the life-size painting of her. He reveals that this painting is behind a curtain and that no one but he is allowed to draw the curtain to view the painting or to show it to anyone. The Duke describes the look on the Duchess' face, stating that she had a joyous look and an intense glance. All along, he wanted to be the only one who would bring a look of joy to his Duchess' face. Now that she was somewhere away and her life-size painting was on the wall, he could be the only one to ever see that look of joy on her face, because he would allow no one else to look at the painting without his permission. So here is the end of section 1. Now coming to section 2, and here the lines are from 16 to 24, and the first line goes, "Era Pandolph chanced to say, her mantle lapse," and the last line of this section is, "She looked on and her looks went everywhere." Well, the meaning goes, in this section of My Last Duchess, the Duke remembers his former Duchess and everything surrounding her. She seemed to be too easily pleased by everyone around her. The Duke was not happy with this. He didn't like that if someone like Era Pandolph, some imaginary character, was there to tell her that her shawl covered her wrists too much, that she blushed. The Duke did not like his Duchess to blush if some other man flirted. He did not like her to feel happy when she always had on her face. Means she always felt happy. The Duke accuses her of having a heart that became glad very easily and too easily impressed. He was annoyed that she liked everything that she looked at. The Duke seems abnormally possessive about his Duchess as the poem My Last Duchess moves ahead. He wanted to be the only one to bring her joy and make her turn red out of shyness. Now coming to section 3, and the lines are 25 to 35. And the first line goes, Sir, 'twas all one, my favour at her breast. And the last line is, this sort of trifling? Now, the explanation goes, in these lines, the Duke continues to find flaws in the Duchess' character. He says that she values her white mule, a branch of cherries, and a sunset as much as she values a piece of jewelry that he had given her. He is irritated that she does not seem to see the value in what he had given to her, or that she seems to value the simple pleasures of life as much as she values his expensive gifts to her. He is also irritated that she does not seem to understand the importance of his place in her life. By marrying her, he had given her a 900 years old name. This reveals that his family had continued to be around for a very long time, and so he had given her an honorable name in marrying her. She did not seem to be thankful for this. Then she was thankful to watch the sunset. This irritated the Duke so much that he was not even willing to go down to her level to discuss it with her. He thinks it would be below his dignity to do so. Now, coming to section 4, and lines are 35 to 47. And the first line goes, even had you skill in speech, which I have not, to make you your will. And the last line is, as if alive, will it please your eyes, will meet. Well, the meaning goes, the Duke continues to accuse his Duchess that he chooses never to go low and discuss with his Duchess what made him so disgusted with her. He thinks of himself too high to go so low, to talk to a woman, even if that woman is his wife. He admits that she smiled at him pleasantly when he passed by, but he felt uncomfortable that she smiled at everyone in the same way. Showing his power, he boasts that he gave commands and then all smiles stopped together. The Duchess was a lovely, happy, smiling lady. The Duke wants her to be in his full command and do what he ordered. He robbed her of her joy with his controlling attitude towards her. The Duke turns his attention back to the painting on the wall and says, there she stands, as if alive. This suggests that the real Duchess is no longer alive. The Duke points to the painting of his Duchess. The Duke then asks his listener to rise until they meet again downstairs. Now coming to section 5, and these are the lines from 47 to 56, and the first line goes, the company below then, I repeat, the count your master's known munificence. And the last line is, which Klaus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. Now the explanation goes, this section of My Last Duchess discloses the identity of the Duke's listener. The man is the servant of a count in the land, and they are trying to arrange a marriage between the Duke and the Count's daughter. The Duke says that his fair daughter is his object, means he wants to marry the Count's fair daughter. He tells the man that they will go down together. As they walk, the Duke points at the bronze statue that was made especially for him by Claus of Innsbruck. The statue is of Neptune, the sea god, taming a seahorse. Neptune symbolizes the Duke, and the seahorse symbolizes any duchess he would acquire and have her in his full control. The Duke in My Lost Duchess reveals Browning's ideas about the mindset of his fellow men during his time. So here I come to the end of the explanation of the poem My Lost Duchess by Robert Browning, and I hope you are getting the idea of the poem. And if you listen to it again and again, you will get the full meaning of the text. That is the poem My Lost Duchess by Robert Browning. My dear, if you have subscribed to my channel, it's nice. If you haven't, do subscribe to my channel so that I come up again and again with new and meaningful videos for you. Thank you.